Everybody have a lovely day, have a lovely day, have a lovely day.
So
everybody have a lovely day, have a lovely day.
So which one is number one and which one is number two?
Number one.
Who's number one?
Who has off
I
yesterday?
thought you were number one and she was number two.
Why are you doing that? Remember how you treat your sister and your sister treats you?
Yes.
That's how Steven and Tony interact. Okay.
Start the camera. Hi. So yesterday I got a comment from Hamem Chalk asking me many questions, but one comment he left with was saying that he was all about trying out the diet, but he said he didn't have the energy to work out. And this is where I had the biggest struggle to begin with, and so I'm assuming most people have the biggest struggle with this, but this is where the complete recovery comes into play. I mean, diet is essential, I agree, but exercise is where your energy, you think that it's gone, but the more you exercise, the more energy you will get. So it's kind of a catch-22. If you don't have any energy and you don't work out, then you'll never get energy. But energy is created by working out. Going back to when I first started exercising was with a rowing machine, and I had no energy like him, and I didn't know what to do, but I knew I had my dad echoing in my head. He has this famous saying, well, famous for him, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. Well, that has echoed in my head my entire life. And when it came to MS, I was scared to death. I didn't want to lose more than I had already lost. I was convinced that exercise was the way out. So I started rowing. I had actually started rowing in New Jersey, but not like what I began when I moved home. I read about something called supramaximal interval training. And this was the key for me. At the time, I suffered immensely with spasticity and fatigue, but more than that, it was a spasticity. And I got to the point where in New Jersey where I was like, I can't row anymore, because I would go for like a minute, and that minute was I could row, but then that minute passed and my legs just started tightening up and I couldn't escape it. And so I didn't know about supramaximal interval training at the time, but I did it. I started it not even knowing what I was doing. What I did was I went full blast. I put all my effort into it, overloaded myself, which I could do for a minute, and I would row, and I would count, like, okay, this is how many rows I can do. And I vary. Right now I'm currently at 20, but I think there were times when I could only do 10, 5, it's all over the place, but I'm comfortable with 20. And in those 20 rows, I go full blast. Once I do that, I stop. They always say, interval training. Well, you go for a while and then at a high rate, and then you drop down to a low rate. No, I don't go tolerate. I stop and I sit there. And then miraculously, if I sit there for a minute or two, that spasticity lowers and I can go again. So it's this constant go fast, stop, go fast, stop. And that way I can keep the intensity high, but I can also avoid getting to the point where my muscles are so tight I can't go anymore. But on the ship, I'm taking even more. I'm going an extra because I can't lift what I can lift on my Bowflex at home here on the ship. Well, I can lift it, but with the constant rowing back and with the motion back and forth on the ship, and not being fully comfortable with the machines themselves. Like for instance, my squats. Instead of going, on the squat machine, they have 2 handlebars to pull up on, and then in the middle where you stand, it's up on a platform. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to stand on that platform and reach down to these handles that are at like floor level. So you're supposed to stand. You're supposed to reach down to the floor, grab these handles, and stand up. Well, I don't feel comfortable with the rocking of the boat with that. I don't know, if I was on the solid ground, maybe it'd be different. So instead, I just moved to I just step to the side off, and then I hold on with my right hand onto the machine. There's handlebars, and I hold onto it, and I reach down and grab it with my left hand, and I go the heaviest I can with my wave loading. I stack all the weights up and just on that right side, but it's enough that I can get a pretty decent workout. And this is what you have to do when it comes to exercise. You have to figure out what works for you. What I do, it might not work, but what you do might not work for me. We all have different challenges with MS, but we can all exercise. And as I said, exercise is the key to get energy back. This is when energy returns. I'm doing this only to fight my multiple sclerosis, and it does give you your life back. Just give it time. Okay.
I am the number one. He was wrong. Where is it coming?
Yeah.
Hari-da-dee-dee. Thank you.